Hi, everybody. Just eating my custard. I've been really, really bad today. I have done no steps whatsoever. So I thought, why not just go ahead and eat awful stuff as well, which is pretty much what I've been doing. So I'm just going to wait a few moments to get some folks in before we start our session this evening. So we're going to go over a few things tonight. We're going to go over the latest announcements by the Scottish Government. We're also going to go into some of what we did today on our Stirling Castle Trossachs tour and Loch Lomond tour, I should say. And then I'm going to go back just for our YouTube and our Facebook guys. You're going to get a chance to watch some of our videos from the past, because, you know, we do our watch parties, but they're quite good to have me and pointing at things rather than just watching it without me there. So that's going to be good fun. So let's just see. So we've got some folks coming in just now. Lovely to see you. We've got an Instagram and in Facebook. And forgive me, let me just go into my Facebook here to see who's there. Hi, Pat. Hi, over in New York. I've been on it today. On it all day. Let's just have a quick look at what's happening. Sometimes it's easier to see it when I'm not in this feed, to see who's there and who isn't there. So we had a few things. So we were, looks like we're going to have something out soon. So look out for the papers or whatever. I don't say too much, but there might be something on very soon. We have also been just so busy. I can't say and thank you guys enough. I've been so busy from morning to night. I've been setting up to like 2 o'clock in the morning, sometimes just going over some comments and well wishes and joining in on our virtual tours. It's been absolutely amazing. I did not expect this kind of response, so it's been amazing. Trish is in and she's just saying that she's working, but she is listening. Oh, and Patrick, you're over on Facebook as well. Hello in New York in Facebook. It's funny when some of our guys are watching us in 2 different locations as well. It's been a good night for me. Although I'm going to go into what our First Minister said today, or Scottish Government said today, but I also got to see my sister came round and just went into my garden, and I got to see my sister from my garden and have a wee chat because it was quite nice weather. In saying that though, the midges have been ridiculous. Like, I'm going to be absolutely covered in midgie bites tomorrow, guys, because it's just been terrible. Hi, Craig. And for anyone who's watching who doesn't know what a midgie is, it's like the worst thing ever. They're like little things that bite you. So just because, obviously, she's not allowed in the house, so we just stood outside and had a wee chinwag. Usually about life and things, because we literally haven't seen each other in so long, and I'm sure everybody's in the same boat. But yeah, so I'm probably going to be covered in midgie bites tomorrow in my garden. And Gary says hi, and we've got Darren in that saying that midges are just pit bulls with. Did I say that right? A pit bull with wellies on. That's it. And Indigo Brood says, "Yay for sis!" Aye, don't steal my custard. Is that for the dog? I've been looking forward to this. Just something sweet, because I've been on this diet for so long and I've allowed myself some custard. I don't know, some people don't like custard, but I love custard. So I'm not gonna gross you guys out by eating it. But anyway, so yeah, it was all good. Which brings, I think we've got enough folk in now. I can quickly go over what was announced today. And guys, that is my dog and licking a plate, so apologies. Let me just go and see. I received it today. Let me just go back into it, because I want to show you guys it and read it out so that you have an idea, because I did say I was going to make a bit of an announcement today. So for anyone who's on Instagram right now, you can see this over on Facebook. It might be better to do it that way. So because I can actually share the screen there. Instagram's good because it's kind of quick and I can upload this, and it's a good way for everything to talk to one another. But essentially, if you want to see the screen sharing until Instagram get their acting together, and we can actually include that here as well. But in the meantime, we have to do that on Facebook and YouTube. So if you don't have Facebook, which I know some of you guys don't, you can see it on YouTube. So it's the same thing, /Scotland is our name, and it will show that I'm live at the moment. So let's just come over here. We've just got some letters out. In fact, I should probably go into my email, shouldn't I? God, it's been a really long week. I haven't slept much. Okay, so Scottish Tourism Alliance. Here we go. So there's been a few things that have happened today, and I'm just going to read them out just to help those who are on our Instagram just now. So there's going to be a couple of different things which are going to start happening in Scotland. It's going to be a phase-by-phase plan. And obviously the Scottish Tourism Board, the Scottish Tourism Board and the Scottish Tourism Alliance are looking for help from the government there. So they've been so proactive, and I can't thank them enough. So if I've got anyone here from the STA watching, thank you so much for everything that you're doing for our industry at the moment. They really are. So here we go, phase 4. Here we go. So it's called the route map. Okay, so I'm just going to share the screen, and I'll read it out for those who are on Instagram. I just need to come into my stream, and I'm going to share my screen with you. If it works. Oh, no, it doesn't work. I'm still getting the hang of this. It's really doing my head in. Right, 2 minutes. Share screen. And the thing is, I can't even see it. Chrome tab. Oh, wait a minute. Here it is. I'm not that stupid. Right. Okay, so I'm sharing this. Can everybody see what I'm sharing, right? So you can all see that. Just let me know if you can see that before we start. Just quickly before we go into it. So we've got John just saying, who doesn't like custard? You'd be surprised. My son doesn't like custard. And my granny as well. Like my granny, I took her custard and she was like, no, I don't like custard. And I was like, you guys are all just weird. And Michelle, yeah, just like the States, Florida's just finished stage 1. Okay, so you can all see it. Good stuff. So for those, and hi Graham, I'm just going to quickly read this. So this is going to start next week, guys, and it's called Phase 1. So I'm hoping I'm not going to bore you too much, but I know a lot of people are going to be interested in this. So, you know, especially if you're coming for a trip, you can kind of see what's happening in our country. So we're going into Phase 1, which is going to start the 28th of May, which I believe is this time next week. And so you're going to be remote working to remain. So we're still technically in a kind of lockdown position for those who cannot be in a position where, well, unless they can't work from home, if that makes sense. So let's just see. So there's going to be, these are the important ones for us. So they're going to start to slowly open drive-through outlets. So those who are looking forward to their drive-through McDonald's, maybe, and garden centres with physical distancing. So obviously social distancing is still going to be in place. So I'm going to come to this at the end of this discussion in a moment. So although the garden centres might be opened, the actual, you can see that the cafes will not reopen. They will only be there for a takeaway if that was the case. They're going to allow unrestricted outdoor access adhering to distance measures and non-contact outdoor activities in the local area, such as golf, hiking, canoeing, outdoor swimming. So this is quite important because you need to make sure that although it says unrestricted, that just means I can go outside as many times as I like. I'm not restricted to 1 or 2 exercises a day. But I still have to do that in my local area. So I can't just decide, oh, well, unrestricted exercise, I'm going to go up to Loch Lomond, or I'm going to go down to Ayrshire, wherever I am. I have to stay within my local area for the same as it has been at the moment, unless I work outside of my area or I need something that's kind of essential. Everything else has to be done locally. And then you've got angling. I just think this is funny because there's going to be a lot of people who are going to become anglers, I think, at this time. But there you go. Then we have other phases, and you can see they haven't actually dated these yet because it's probably going to remain on a very kind of apprehensive basis. We're not really going to know when things are going to start to be lifted as such, but it gives you an idea that things are going to slowly start to move with social distancing in mind. We've got phase 2. So let's just come back. So physical distancing, pubs and restaurants can open outdoor spaces. So that's going to be good. Hopefully in the summer, we can go to a pub and sit in a beer garden. Again, as long as social distancing is adhered to and hygiene. So that just means the same thing that we've been listening to and kind of banging on about for so long now, is just washing your hands. Possibly if you're out in public wearing a face mask or something like that, if you are vulnerable, taking hand gels or whatever out with you, just in case. Just being clean is important. And then we've got phase 3. So that's when pubs and restaurants can then open their indoor spaces again. Again, there's going to be social distancing. It looks like that's going to be the kind of theme moving forward. I don't think we're going to be getting close to one another anytime soon. But this is quite good for us because phase 3, we're going to start to see museums, galleries, cinemas and libraries start to open, again, only with the right social distancing and hygiene measures. So only places which can adhere to those guidelines are going to be open. And I say that because if you're a really small museum and you rely on 10 folk coming in your door, but you can't facilitate that anymore, but you can't pay your staff for one guy coming in at a time, it's not going to be viable for you. So it's just like making sure that everybody understands what this means. And then there's going to start become relaxation on restrictions on accommodation providers, including hotels, B&Bs and holiday homes. So that's going to be good for the local tourism market, for staycations more than I think international travel or outside travel. So we're going to start to see more Scots or people from the UK potentially holidaying at home. And they will hopefully be able to do that using hotels, B&Bs and holiday homes. Again, there's going to be social distancing and hygiene measures. So the same thing, like I said before, if you're a small hotel or a small B&B and you've only got 2 rooms, but you're not able to make people kind of social distance properly, you're probably not going to open. You're going to do things very apprehensively. So I'm just hoping that the government understands that not just the holiday makers themselves, but the tourism operators or providers are going to find it their own judgment call, and they can't be penalised for such. Then we're going to have phase 4, which means all types of outlets will be open in line with public health advice. Shopping local should still be encouraged, and there will be further relaxation of restrictions on live events. So this 4th phase approach is going to be interesting for most people in this industry. I think it's going to be really good for people who are looking to travel from home, but I don't think it's going to be very good for people like me yet, because it's going to be very difficult for us in a vehicle to social distance. So hopefully they can bring out some sort of guidelines and practices there. I mean, we were very good before any lockdown, before any kind of closure really happened, and we were starting to hear about COVID or coronavirus. We were bringing extra hand gels in the car. We were wiping down with disinfectant in the vehicle. We were making sure our guests were washing their hands, every single place that we were going, and being careful to touch things. So we were quite good from the beginning, but I don't know how viable that's going to be moving forward. So if you're looking for answers about, tour operators or getting to Scotland, it's probably going to be a wee while before we know anything. So we've got next week. I've been speaking to different people, and everybody's got their own opinion on what's going to happen. Nobody really knows, and I think that's the crucial point that we need to take from this. We don't know how quickly these phases are going to be implemented, but we do know one thing is for sure: when things are starting to be implemented, there's still going to be quite a strain, if you like, on the tourism industry, from B&Bs to visitor attractions to allow people to come in. And then there's this whole question about quarantine when coming into the UK. So it's going to be a really, really, really interesting time. So for everybody who is waiting for my little announcement today, I don't really have any other answers other than I can walk more often locally as of next Thursday. I'm also hoping that soon we are going to be able to socialise with family members who are not vulnerable, or even those who are vulnerable at a distance outside. Like, that's what I'm looking for, because I think that during this week, this is, I said this the other night, this is Mental Health Week in Scotland and in the UK. So the impact of what's going on at the moment, it's just so worrying to see. I mean, I saw my grandfather yesterday and I dropped off some nettle tea bags for him. And he's now 82 years of age, and we're doing this all to protect him. But at the same time, he's getting really, you can see loneliness is starting to take its toll on him. So it's all good saying that, there's so many things, there's so many ramifications which can come from this. And I really hope that soon we will be allowed to at least socialise at a distance, which is fine, with our friends and family members outside. I'm hoping for that, because I think it's going to be massively beneficial to people who are more vulnerable in our society. I'll just quickly go into some of our hellos. So sorry for my wee boring bit there, but I thought it is important that everybody knows what's going on in the UK at the moment. That is where we stand, and I've just read that from the official Scottish Government website. Okay. So we've got Seth. Hi, Seth. We've got Linda. Hi, Linda. I was just talking to your daughter tonight, having a good chinwag. It is a very good thing you rescheduled your trip. So I was saying this on our virtual tour today because some people were asking, because of this kind of ambiguity that's going on at the moment, this kind of uncertainty from a kind of government level, it's creating a few issues, I understand, when people are trying to reschedule their trips, because some airlines and some insurances are not willing to reschedule or cancel or repay out, because they'll revert back to their usual T&Cs. So what I would say is speak to them first and see what they say, and then, you know, if they're being kind of rigid with what they're saying, then I would seek some other advice, because you cannot be penalised for what's happening at the moment. Nobody can. And I sympathise obviously with the airlines and everything else, but I think the governments do need to take more of a kind of definite approach, whether they're just going to close it for this season. Just tell us. It's all they need to do. And then people can make their plans and nobody's going to be penalised further. I do hope so. Like I told you, I had my sister out in my garden today and it was just magic. You can see my sister is a single parent. She's got 2 young children. She's working full time at home, and I think she's just going demented now. I don't think people, when they think about lockdown, they don't realise the psychological stress that has when somebody's only company is 2 young children who are very demanding, who aren't at school, when you're trying to hold down a full-time, very, very stressful full-time job. So I do sympathise with her. So I did tell her, I said, she lives down the road practically. So I told her to walk up, and they were just out in my garden. So it was fine. I got to see my 2 wee nieces as well, Brea and Boston. So they were out in the garden having a wee play and running around with the ball. So that was nice. But I do hope that I'm able to be out with them, and we can just enjoy a walk or something together at a distance. There you go. So, and yeah, you're totally right. I'm hoping, like, there's a lot of calls for this now. I think people are getting very frustrated. So we're going to see what happens one way or another. It's going to happen. So enough of that doom and gloom. At least something's happening. At least we can see something is moving. So I'm just going to stop sharing that. And what I'm going to show you guys now, for those who are on Instagram, go over to our YouTube or our Facebook channel. So I'm going to leave you guys now. Thank you for watching. I just wanted to make that wee announcement. But if you go over to those channels, you will get a chance to see a few of our wee videos that I'd like to share with you. So take care, stay safe, and I'll see you later. Okay, guys, so that's that. So they're going to come over. Let me just share my screen with you all, if I can get it, because I'm now getting pretty good at this. Let me just quickly see. And therein lies the problem with all these people who have no business preaching or scolding or admonishing others about lockdown. I know, Anne. Preach it to the choir. I think it's my sister came over. Actually, this is gonna be a really random chat with you guys tonight, but my sister did make a very interesting point tonight, and she said that in her job, she does work in an interesting place. I'm not going to say it on live TV or live chat, but she was saying that she has noticed that lockdown, as much as it's supposed to make us be thoughtful and charitable and looking and helping each other, she's noticing that people are becoming increasingly more selfish and insular. And I think that's because we are we are only seeing things from our own perspectives now. It's like it's hard to empathize with someone if you have no contact or association. You now can literally, we've all shut ourselves off from everybody else and other viewpoints and other ideas. I'm not in any way against lockdown by any means of the imagination, but just the kind of rhetoric that we're having at the moment, I can find sometimes it's a little insensitive to small and medium smaller and medium-sized businesses who are relying on, well, this is going to kill their businesses, essentially. And I keep seeing things that are like, it's comments like lives over profit, sorry. And that's a really, really good point. Like, obviously, lives over profit. But it's such an easy thing to say without understanding the underlying issues there, which is nobody is saying at all people should be profiting at the moment. But it's the kind of idea that, I don't know, I just wonder if there's going to be the same compassion for people as the bailiffs start turning up and removing all the stuff from their homes, and children are literally sitting there without a roof over their heads, and the social economic issues and problems that we're going to see for the next couple of decades. I can say that I live in an area which saw massive industrial decline in the 1980s and early 1990s. 20,000 jobs, 25 technically thousand jobs, pretty much overnight. And we are still seeing the problems, the social economic issues that have come from that, from poverty. We are the most deprived area of Scotland, unfortunately. I don't like to publicise it, but it has come from that social and economic, that very quick economic decline where overnight 25,000 people were made unemployed. And from that, we have seen poverty, alcohol abuse, suicide, so many different things, other health issues, how people eat, smoking, heart disease, cancers, all that comes from the same issues. So this is such a big issue. And to say something so quick and so snappy sometimes doesn't actually see the whole picture. And it does kind of start to irritate me, because before maybe I could jump on that bandwagon, but when it starts to affect you directly, you do start to see things from a different perspective. And maybe that is selfish of me, but I do always try to see the different points and be a little bit more sensitive to what's happening, no matter who it is. I've got two parents who work for the NHS. My dad actually works at the moment. He's in the COVID ward, an intensive care COVID ward. My dad is incredibly at risk, and then he puts my mother at risk, and she works with young babies. And then you've got my sister, who's a district nurse, who just had COVID-19 and was sick for over 2 weeks. And I just feel like you start having to justify yourself sometimes. I'm like, no, I'm not going down that way. So anyway, that's just my little thing. I just wish people had a bit more common sense, or a bit more empathy, a little bit more sympathy for the broader picture and the troubles that we are going to see from this. And I hope that we'll still be looking at lives over profit after this has happened, because lives will still be destroyed when people are going to be looking to get new cars and holidays in the future. So that's just my thing. Trish, you just said, Trish, I agree. Like, I think if we had lockdown sooner, like, that would have worked. I don't know what's happening now. I'm not even going to comment on that, because I'm going to get myself in trouble. I'm in no way educated enough to go into the full ins and outs. But I will say that with your language, let's be more compassionate. And I look to my leaders in government to do that for people like myself. So if anyone else is out there, and I know we're talking about a complete collapse of the Scottish tourism industry, that's where we're going. And I think that they really need to start rolling up their sleeves and coming up with something to help these people, because they might not be catching a virus, but they're going to be incredibly vulnerable to all sorts of horrible, nasty things, mental health, homelessness, bankruptcy, so much. And I don't know if our social system can handle that level and that amount of people needing help all at the once. So there you go. My wee bit. So I'm going to end with a happier note, because I am, because I'm going to do a full circle here, actually, because doing with what I'm doing at the moment, and I'm trying to look forward, I'm trying to look into 2021, 2020, working with customers who have booked for this year. And I know that some have been disappointed because we have a no refund policy for this year. And the only reason we've done that is because this has never happened before. So any terms and conditions we had before, I think are fair, that we try to come up with something else to protect yourselves and ourselves. So we came up with a no refunds, but a full credit to be used for the next 24 months. And if in 24 months, just beforehand, something happens and you can't go, don't worry. Our usual T&Cs will come back into play by then. It's just at the moment we need to try and save ourselves and save everybody, because it'll be devastating to others. And I don't really want to take out debt that I don't even know if I could pay off. So that's where we are. But so thank you for everything that you guys have done. All your support has been wonderful. All of the virtual tours, the uptake for those, the buy me a coffee has been magic. Thank you so much. Every little helps. I do feel a bit like a charity at the moment, but we are, we've lost almost a full year's worth of bookings that is not going to be replaced. It's all good and well saying, well, maybe local tourists and all that, but as you can see from the 4-phase plan, there's nothing in there for somebody in my industry. So hopefully, moving forward, we'll be able to do more of these virtual tours. We'll be able to do more and give you guys some value and some respite in your day, a shop, and obviously tours for the future. So that's the plan, and I'm sticking to it. So I hope you all come chilling. Indigo's just saying hugs and love. Thank you for all you're doing. Stay strong and positive. We're all here for you from around the world. Oh, thank you. That's amazing. It is, honestly, it was kind of a bit of a negative start, but I have been incredibly positive this week because of the unexpected warmth and response that we've managed to achieve from what we've been doing. And I hope those who've been joining the virtual tours have been enjoying them as well. They are there. They're not just me sitting here like I do with a little bit of a waffle on at 10 o'clock at night. This is more about giving you guys something of value, something that you can look back on, nice pictures, all that kind of stuff. So, and yeah, definitely send you some positivity. I know you must be dreading it because you wanted to be in Scotland at this time. And I know it's so sad that you're not, but you will get back. And that's the most important thing. And so we are, or at least I am, pushing the agenda of Scotland is waiting. And it's a hashtag. So this is something that I would hope that those in our government do have a look at, because it is a more positive message than we're closed. Although we are closed, don't get me wrong, we are closed. but Scotland is waiting. Shows you that you know it's still going to be here. Don't worry about it. Relax, be well, stay safe, look after yourself and your loved ones. Scotland is waiting for you. So when the time is right, you can get back here. So that's the message we are delivering. So I'm going to go ahead now and share my screen. And Trish, I will. And Trish has been wonderful. Trish has been so supportive, and so is Anne. All of you have. And hi, Helen and Skelmerley. Let me just come in here, and I'm going to share a nice. I want to share a video with you guys. Oh God, there's me eating my custard. I just want to show you a nice. What would you guys like to see tonight? I could take you over to Mull. In fact, let's go and do the Mull walk. We're not going to do the full Mull walk, but I'm just going to share this with you. See if I can make that bigger. No, I can't. Okay, so share screen, entire screen, share. Awesome. And now I'll go to so can you hear? Oh, you can't see that, right? Sorry, guys, I let myself out by sheer and utter accident. So let me go back into this because I need to share my full screen. It seems to be kind of temperamental with this. So I'm going to share my audio, Chrome tab. So here, can you guys hear that audio? That's a nice wee Mull video.
Girl, I think. Don't know if I'm saying that right. You can see it
Can you hear that?
there. And just over there is Kilcoran. That's where you can catch the ferry to the mainland. So that's the mainland over there.
Just eat my custard.
And you can catch the ferry there, which you can end up at Ardnamurchan, and then Morven. I believe. That's Ardnamurchan. That's Morven.
I'm going to come back in here and see if this might work. Look at all my videos. So many. Get lost in Western Ross. Look at this. No. Oh, word, my word. How many have we got? Hey, Gizmo. Here, let's listen to Kelvin Grove organ. Oh. Oh, is it too faint? Okay, I'm going to stop sharing then, and then I'm going to start sharing again, right? Let's see if this works. Oh, I need to share audio. And then I need to click here. And then if I go here, hopefully this works, but I think you just see my screen like this. Got it. No, it's not working. Anyway, I've had enough. It's not working. So who knows? I think Helmut told me how to work it, but I'm probably going to have a few more goes at this. This is only night 3. I got it before, but I'm fine on Zoom. I've got it on Zoom. So if you're watching Zoom, I can do it on that. But here it's rather strange. Anyway, I just want to see. So there you go. What else do you guys want to see? Well, we did our... Oh, wait a minute. You're doing very well. Thanks, Trish. I've been going on the go since first thing this morning. We had our Stirling Castle tour today, and it like 1 minute under 2 hours. So we had it was good. It was a good laugh. I was singing, so you actually get to hear me sing. Which is terrible, by the way. Nobody wants to hear that. But it was all in the spirit of the moment. So that was good. And the screen sharing and the music worked fine for that. I think what I need to do is mute myself. I think Helmut said I need to share screen. Application window. So Helmut, you said I need to share my entire screen, but it then goes, it doesn't actually share like my wee thing that I'm trying to share.
It does?
No, it's sharing everything, look.
Yeah, but it's when you click the share that you click the thing that says, so get rid of that share.
Okay, stop screen, right, yeah. Guys?
So when you now click on share screen again.
Right.
Now you click the share audio.
So I did that before.
Okay, and now you share the screen.
Okay.
Okay. And now when you go to whatever you want to show them,
this
will show. You just can't see it.
Ah, okay. Hopefully you guys can see this. I'm going to steal a little bit more custom. But a wee bit of Kelvin Grove. Right, there we go. So, stop sharing. And here we go. Did you hear that? Can hear and see. You can still see me eating my my custard. Like this. So bad, guys. I've done. Can you see that? Exactly 1,200 steps today. So bad. This is like the problem with me because I do like start and then I keep going. Trish, no problem. Sharon, no problem. You can actually get access again, like with all of our Stirling Castle videos. In fact, I've got another 10 minutes. I might actually show you a clip from one of the videos we did today that we went over at Stirling Castle. And then if you want to see that video or that link or see the tour, I should say, it costs $3, the cost of a coffee. And you can have the link. As I said before, it goes on for about just under 2 hours. I cover Scottish history. We go over like Rob Roy. We're going over Falls of Phallic, a little bit of poetry, a little bit of singing. We did a little bit of introductions, who we are. And we also, what else did we do? We did Loch Lubnaig, some funny stories. Well, you can be the judge of that. And we also did Loch Lomond, obviously. So, and the Drovers Inn. So you get a chance to see that and some Highland cows. There's so much on that tour. So I'm just going to share a clip with you guys just while I've got these videos up. And in fact, I can probably share the YouTube with you. Oh. So I did a walk through of Stirling Castle. This one. Yeah, this one here. So I'm going to share this video with you. And it's on our YouTube. Where am I? Share screen. So hopefully you guys can see this. I'm going to check my phone to see if you can or not, because I can't see that. I think that was my issue. I think I was actually doing it right the whole time, but because I can't see it, there you go. So I'm going to share this with you guys now. Hi, folks. Here. And I just thought a wee video on a tour. My guests are currently inside exploring. I've just done our history talk I do every time we're here. I think this is the fun one. I might rewind through this. And funny enough, we have the Visit Scotland coup. Yeah. All right. Let me just see if I can show you. Yeah, can't work it. Oh, there we go. So I spent quite a lot of time in this one walking around the car park. So we're going to go. Hashtag. It's quite funny how quickly it's. I'll leave it. People just come out and they're all getting their leaflets. Anyway, I was at a Visit Scotland 2 days ago.
for the year of coast and waters. Nothing. It's just that cow comes out.
Okay, so I'm just talking. What I might
It's
do.
a live video.
I was going to say, do you want me to
Talk.
So there we have it.
So this is just the view out from Stirling Castle.
And I thought something was missing. I don't know where that's gone. It's for India. I was looking for it. And anyway, my group today are from India.
Yeah.
Hi, Miss Stirling.
I should actually walk along the wall, but all the cars are in the way here. Just a nice view towards the graveyard.
Okay, so I'm going to see. Helmet, turn the telly down. I've just got a comment here.
So Stirling Castle tour is one that we do daily. And this is the first Stirling Castle tour I've done in ages. I should really say that.
So I'm just reading your comments here. There's my vehicle.
Have a wee peek inside. That's my seat. And now we're going to walk down towards.
I'm just going to close that over a bit, Helmet, because that is quite loud.
Gosh, the weather has changed quite dramatically. Here.
And this is just the wee graveyard.
Isn't that?
Sorry, guys, I'm just sharing my video.
Anyone that knows me knows that I'm fascinated with graveyards.
Oh.
So share.
Welcome, Joe. I'm not in Inverclyde today.
Right.
Down towards Port Palace.
There we go.
Fun.
So as you can see, they were doing a lot of like
And they're
work.
obviously doing some work. Half the car park. So if anyone is visiting Stirling Castle,
Look at that.
just note that half the car park, like, it's full of construction. And then
I don't think I ever do videos that often
right
outside
from
Stirling.
beach. Awesome. Thanks for joining me so early in the morning for you there.
Okay, I'm just going to fast forward this just a wee bit because
Absolutely crazy. Because I must look at probably like one of those annoying people who talk out loud without their phone next to their ear. And there you have some signs, standing in queues. And like you can see, I mean, this is still quite early and every bus is full. And we'll be there next week. Actually, we do shore excursions from Greenock Port. And we're going to have 3 buses here. So I need to make sure that we're not stuck.
oh Trish, I've got
In Australia.
some stuff actually on I'm just gonna fast forward a little bit here. We do I think I do have something on the Wallace Monument somewhere here. Oh guys, there's Robert the Bruce statue, Stirling.
Plinth, because he's quite significant to this particular area.
How often do you think you use the word plinth? It's just one of those words, isn't it?
These battles took place. We have the Battle of Stirling Bridge. You can't really see. There's the river, just over there. And you heard me talking about next year is quite significant because it's the year of Coast and Waters.
Sadly,
2020
this year is not the year of coastal waters
a
anymore.
special year for Scotland where we celebrate our marine tourism. All our rivers and canals are all involved in that. So we're based along the River Clyde, but we do a lot from the Forth River and obviously here as well, Stirling. We've got the canals at Falkirk. I mean, the whole country, Loch Ness, Loch Lomond. In fact, we'll be going to Loch Lomond today. We'll see how we are for time. I might do a wee live feed from Loch Lomond. The first.
There we go. Now we're coming into
Right, let me
the
get my
castle.
ferry, which I've still got.
Now, let me just fast forward this bit.
I'm trying to get all my steps in. The funny thing about these cannons is that they were never fired. They were put in for decoration. So that's just where we came from. Just down there.
Oh, there's no British flag.
And then so actually take you right here. That's the Queen Anne Garden down there. Named after James VI's wife Anne. See that? And then up here,
Mm-hmm.
we're making our way. Look at this wee room. I love that, Dave. That's nice. My heavy breathing, it's because I'm just so bloody unfit. Like, it's a wee hole. I don't want to know what that was for. So down there, that kind of weird looking garden fixture.
This
that
just
is
here, guys, that I'm pointing
the
at.
King's Knot. That was put there for the coronation of Charles I when he came up to Scotland. This building over here, that one,
This
that
one.
is the palace. James V built that as a wedding present for, Mary de Guise, Mary Queen of Scots' mother. I think I've done a Stirling Castle inside tour before. I love Stirling too. I want to see how quickly you can do this running, Davy.
I was getting slagged off at the time by somebody.
So we come in.
But you can see.
Do you know, actually, I've taken you guys up there before. That'll take you in. That's the Great Hall. It's the palace. I'll take you into the square and towards the Douglas Garden. So I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to do something a bit different. I'm going to take you down towards the kitchens and where you can see the Stirling Tapestries exhibition, which I've not been down to for ages. Aye, whatever. It's
I didn't go in there because it's creepy as hell.
It's probably going to cut out. And the other issue with it is that there's creepy mannequins in there, and I'm not.
There you go.
So let's go off the tapestries. Now I came here years ago, and when they were still doing the tapestries, and when it was actually a special event when they were opening the palace again. It was called Palace for the Queen, and I was invited over because I used to blog back then for Search Scotland, and it was quite a fun thing to be part of. And all the ladies, they had the actors out. It was great fun. And my son at the time was only 2, and the actors were saying, "Right, everybody, sit down and don't look at the Queen." And he was shouting back at the guy. It was quite sweet. Anyway, look at that! The sun's coming out. Like how the weather can change. Literally, it's quite warm. you walk them all. Right. How quickly am I going to do this? How quickly am I going to do this? Right.
So this is us going up.
Sheer drops.
Well, look,
Look at that.
there are sheer drops without barriers.
Bum, bum, bum. What I do for you guys.
I would do that 4 times now if I could.
Game of Thrones or Jack Door. I don't really know the difference. Right. I really should be doing more of this because I am so unfit. Here's a better view. Maybe
There's
it's hard to see it, but you can just make out the
Wallace
Wallace
Monument.
there. So we're called Slanch of Scotland. That's the name of our company. So Slanch, which means cheers in Gaelic. And I'll just spell that for you guys. For you, Joe, it's SLAINTE. There you go. Ah,
I can't believe.
Stirling. Now, I know Barbara's going to watch us now. Barbara is one of our long-time guests. She's coming back again, hopefully this year with me. And I met her in Stirling. She was just staying not too far from where the castle is here. And I picked her up and she said to me, I know we discussed an itinerary, but just take me where you want to go. So what we did is see where the Wallace Monument is. We parked to the bottom and we walked to the top.
We did.
Which was quite fun. We didn't go into the Wallace Monument, but we did. There's a nice walking trail which takes you up to the top there, like a woodland trail. It's great for kids as well. And we went up there, and then we went to the bridge, the Stirling Bridge, which is not the one that Wallace had his battle at, but I took her there. And then where else did we go? We went to Bannockburn, and I kicked her butt and changed history as I was the Queen of England and won the Battle of Bannockburn, which is, as everybody knows, is not historically accurate. And then I took her to the ruins of nearby, just in that direction, Cambus Kenneth Abbey, which is where they believe a little piece of Wallace actually still lies. And you can see 2 tombs, one to James III of Scotland and his wife, who died nearby here at the Battle of Sockburn. Gosh. And then you need to try and get off and go, look at that. And apparently just up there, that's where the Queen's view is, the Queen's viewpoint. Apparently Mary de Guise and all the ladies in waiting would stand there and look down this view here.
To this face.
Those white houses are there. That's apparently where the local woman would wash all the clothes and hang them up, and they would watch all the people doing all their business. So now I'm going to have to start off.
And there we go.
Here we go.
So that was my little bit of Stirling Castle. I did show off pieces of that on our tour today, obviously, and a few others that we have. I also showed off some of Loch Lomond, the Drovers Inn and Balquidder. So we did quite a lot today. So if you want access to that, just send a wee message and I'll send you the link to get the coffee, and I'll send you the YouTube link. So it was good fun again. So that was us. Our hour is now up. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. Just a wee blether. I tried to be as informative as I could today. Just for your information, tomorrow is going to be Ghost Story Night. So I am going to ask all of you who have a ghost story, I do this all the time, who have a ghost story, and if you don't mind coming into the camera, I can bring you in to our session. So if you have any whatsoever, any at all, do get in touch with me if you don't mind going live, and we'll get you on our ghost story night. We'll do the same again for Saturday night, which is our party night. So anyone who wants to be involved in that can. So that's going to be good. So anyway, thank you very much. Again, I can't thank you enough for all of your support at this time. It's been really much appreciated. All your kind words, no matter what it is, they are all really appreciated. And we're all together in this, and we're going to keep up with the positivity. And yeah, so although it started off fairly meh, like what is she going on about? I really am quite positive, so don't worry about it. And thank you so much for everything. It means the world. So see you all tomorrow night for ghost stories. And I'll be announcing, in fact, for everybody, I will be sending a newsletter out tomorrow with a schedule of our virtual tours as well, because I've been asked by quite a few people. So there you go. So thank you, everybody. See you tomorrow. Take care.